forward percentage is quite impressive. It does tend to show that Shun and Chelsea as a duo like to be pushing their wave, which may impact the draft, as you touched, as an important aspect of this matchup. Nico is going to be banned, as well as Gragas, and Maokai, the response, I think, getting rid of Maokai, especially on Gemini, very good idea. Maokai looking like the premier jungle currently in the meta.
Yeah, Nico banned my blue side, it's a bit interesting. Maybe they don't want to play it. And Gragas ban, I mean, taking away from 1116 honestly is pretty good. It's a flex pick, and he's looked very good on it. Jace ban as well on blue side again, so interesting bans coming through from CFO. I wonder, what are they going to first pick? You know, maybe Tristana, maybe Azir?
Yeah, both good options, and Jimmy plays both of them, so giving yourself options for sure. I think banning away the Jace perhaps leans towards wanting that Tristana.
Okay, Sedge is open as well. I wonder, you know, what are CFO going to show us? I'm guessing it's not Gangplank.
I want it to be Gangplank. I think that's likely to be the lock-in. Yep. Okay, so early Tristana pickup here. What will be the response? You feel like Sejuani? Probably one of these two picks here.
Yeah, I wonder, I mean, you could take the likes of...
LeBlanc is open too.
Yeah, I don't think you want to pick it into Tristana. I think picking up, you know, Sedge Kai'Sa, Sedge Azir could both be good. Is this Benny's fourth game of Kai'Sa and he played on the chat?
No, he got picked against him. It's his third. I think he played Zaya one game as well.
Ooh, okay. Will they really pick LeBlanc into Trist?
I feel like you can. It didn't look that bad.
Yeah, you can, but I feel like it's not that worth it. You know, like you can just pick a counter instead. If they go for it though, I mean, I'll be interested to see how it performs. Feels a bit like a self-counter though.
Yeah, maybe. 1116 though should feel pretty confident in his abilities if he's okay to pick this up. And currently on patch 13.12, obviously with how strong Static Shivers, it is just a really strong pick.
Yeah. Okay, so they value the prior pick, but that does give CFO the opportunity to take Sedge if they want it. And I'm not sure then, I mean, maybe Kongye would just go back to his Wukong. You kind of see Wukong priority has been dropping a lot for other teams, but Kongye, extremely good in the champ, and certainly would not shy away from picking it again. Ooh, but Sedge Jax, I mean, that's such a good 2-3 here, right?
Yeah.
It's tough for BYG because now you have to either pick a jungler or a top laner into the Jax, but both Gragas and Jace are gone. Ooh. I feel like picking the Jax is better.
Yeah, I think so. I think the answer will probably be Cassante into the Jax.
Yeah, but
I think
do you really
way...
want to drop your jungle? Oh. No shot, right?
Would be exciting. I don't think it's a Kongye type pick, although he did play Pantheon.
Ooh, Rumble.
That is a lot of AP though. I don't think we're going to see an AP jungler.
Yeah.
I think it's just the Wukong, right? Oh, Poppy.
Okay, so this is Poppy Flex. Can we play top in a Jax? Can we play jungle as well? I think that's kind of smart. It's not that many champs that would be top jungle flexes at this point, but I think that's a pretty good one to pick up. Now, looking towards those second phase bans, BYG, what are we going to look for? Can just ban away bot laners, given that CFO haven't shown anything. Could this be a Shun Draven game?
Yeah, maybe paying homage to Qfazo. Be interesting to see.
Okay, now, Khan ban is the first one.
That takes power away from the Zaya Rakan possibility.
Yeah.
Which obviously, being that you do have 2 picks in a row after Beyond do pick, you are more likely to pick up that duo. There is still the likes of Melio, Lucian, and from memory, I think Shun was one of the Lucian players in the region, so wouldn't be too surprised to even see that as a possible option, or even Melio banned away by Beyond.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of options for Zero. Yeah, the Wukong ban.
So they're thinking Poppy top.
Okay. I mean, I can see that. There aren't that many options left up into the Jax, feels like. You can't really play an AP top laner here, I don't think. So it's like, what other ADs could you pick? I think banning away junglers does make sense. Now, what will the second one be?
Well, you could just... I mean, Wukong's like the only power jungler left, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Ivern, I guess.
Yeah, Ivern or Pantheon, maybe?
But that's still a lot of AP if you do go for the Ivern. I was just
Yeah.
thinking maybe you just leave it at the Wukong ban. You're happy if they take Ivern and you ban away something like the Cassante.
Or maybe you just ban a support away from carries. I mean, you got a lot of options here. I feel like the second jungle ban doesn't go that far, though.
No.
It's difficult to put it in a place that really matters.
I think you're getting a tier 2 jungler regardless. I mean,
Yeah.
Vi, you could take away Vi.
Oh, Vi's still up? Yeah, maybe we could ban Vi. Probably a good ban.
I think Vi might be the best ban.
Ooh.
Kindred, okay.
I wonder if they didn't realize Vi is up. I mean, I guess Vi is not that great into what's been shown so far. Kha'Zix. Surely not.
Yeah, and the Xayah is still open, so if they were to take
Yeah,
the
that's
Vi,
true.
probably just answered by the Xayah.
You feel like the Xayah might just be the answer to whatever
Anything?
jungler
Yeah.
Kongwei picks, though.
And it's the Xayah Kai'Sa lane is just pretty well known as being pretty much just an even lane. Like, there's no real winner between the two. A lot of it comes down to support and jungle presence. But I do hate to see the PCS Viego.
Yeah, I think Viego, very overrated champ in competitive play. Really struggles to get ahead. And if he doesn't, quickly becomes useless. Would like to see the Xayah picked up here. It's another ADC that can deny resets on the Viego. So I really like that. Now looking at Shalcy's pick, Oyster. Yeah, I think CFO have such a good draft here. What is Kerez gonna pick to really turn this draft around? I mean, Nautilus is good, but I don't think it's enough.
Yeah, there's a lot of targets that you don't want to be hooking. That's for sure. But I guess it is nice to just have the Nautilus Kai'Sa. It really adds a lot of power to your lane.
Ooh, okay. I mean, I'll tell you right now, I think CFO got this one. I think their draft is a lot better.
Yeah, I do agree. I think they've just got pretty much an Exodia comp again. We've seen a lot of them.
Yeah.
I don't think Beyond's comp is bad by any means. I think it's nice what they did with that Poppy. And sort of giving a level of uncertainty as to where it goes. But then it does feel like, why take the Viego? Well, what's like why ban the Varus?
Yeah.
You could just ban the Xayah and take the Vi.
Yeah, I think that probably is the best play, but it really feels weird. Like, I think the LeBlanc into Tristana is a bit questionable. Not picking the Sejuani, a bit questionable. Like, you know, when you had the opportunity to. Because you even could have gone, you know, Jax on 3 into your own bans. But either way, this is what we've ended up with. And I think while BYG, they do have some win cons, they definitely can snowball hard. Feels like CFO do kind of, you know, I think they have the better hand. A lot of it could come down, though, just to how the early game goes. I mean, both teams are very aggressive in the early game. CFO definitely not going to shy away from fighting for these early drags. And they have a comp that just lends itself so well to doing that.
Yeah, okay, exciting. I'm excited to see the top lane as well. I think we don't really get to see Poppy top a whole lot, and we do get to see Rest Jax, and that is a really scary thing to have to go up against. So I want to see Lakai piloting this Poppy to make sure Rest isn't getting far ahead, and I think as the game progresses, Rest will gradually just become more and more strong against the Poppy, at least in the isolated 1v1. But Lakai perhaps can have more impact in these team fights. The ability to knock someone completely out of a fight can be so critical. I mean, if you're hitting away the Xayah or you're hitting away the Tristana, probably just means you have more damage and tankiness to be able to get through the team fight. But we will find out soon. This is the game of the day. Final game as well here for day number 1 of week 2. Beyond versus CFO. I think we've got a really exciting one, trying to break away these 3-0s.
Yeah, this is the big one, I have to say. And across the board, things are looking pretty normal. I will say, no cleanse on Betty's Kai'Sa up against quite a lot of CC. What do you think?
Yeah, I guess the thought might be that he's probably going to go AP and is not going to be really caught up in having to worry about team fights that much. Like,
Yeah,
a lot of
Can
the
just poke.
CC probably is going to be landing or aimed towards maybe 1-1-1-6 or Kongyue. And so he feels fine to take sort of something more powerful in his lane, because Cleanse doesn't help a whole lot against Oyster. Does get him out of one stun, but that is not really the main sort of CC Oyster provides, so...
Oh, and maybe they're going to try push Chelsea off this ward. E-start? Yeah.
Okay. This could be dangerous here. Oyster will be able to get that Glacial off. Doesn't give him enough to walk away. It does. But massive health taken away from this Oyster.
Yeah, really creative level 1 from BYG. Not only do they force Tristana to start W at level 1, but also now get that huge chunk onto Chelsea, and that's going to put their bot lane in a very good position. So I really like that. I feel like that's probably pre-prepared from the side of Beyond. They've clearly thought about this matchup.
Yeah, and even better, they haven't revealed where Kongyue is. And so for all CFO know, he could be either bot side or the top side. And I mean, at least for me, if I see those members invading me, I'm probably leaning towards maybe Viego's starting at bot side.
Oh, why'd he go back?
Yeah, that bit tragic. But nice trade there found from Jimmy, and especially because he started with W, being able to find that good of a trade already is pretty massive for his state of the game.
Chelsea, he's in a bit of trouble. Can't really walk up even to relic these to heal himself. Now, Kongyue is not in position yet, so he won't be getting dived, at least for now. We'll at least hit level 2, but I think this is going to force Gemini to cover. Yeah, you can see he's just sitting there in that bot bush. Kind of needs to get this wave to crash, so this is much better tempo-wise for Kongyue. And a lot of this just stems from what happened in level 1.
Yeah, this is really problematic, at least for the bot lane of CFO. BYG doing the homework. It just shows, I mean, you touched on it after day 1, that level 1s can really change up how a game's played, especially if you execute them well, And at least for the early stage of this lane, we're seeing that pay off. But looks like Shun's actually got a pretty decent trade onto Betty somewhere along in this lane.
Yeah, did manage to get a little bit of poke out. Kongyue, maybe now we'll look for something bot. I think they're getting kind of low. Maybe he can look after Scuttlecrab. He should know that there's no way Gemini can be around. So it is just a straight 3v2 at this point. Obviously, there are TPs up and available, though.
Gemini really far behind on his clear so far.
Well, he's pinging.
Yeah, looks like they're going to go for it. I think this is really scary, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure how easy this is. Looks like Kongyue realizes.
Is he going to go? No, he looks like he's headed towards mid. But yeah, I think that is pretty impossible of a dive, even though there are low health bars. Just trying to dive an Alistair seems like a near-on impossible task.
Does seem difficult, yeah. And Kaiser.
Betty got the recall off. Got the carrot.
Yeah, we'll be going towards that Shiv build. Makes a lot of sense, I think. Do have some reasonable ADs on the team. I think Viego is always a weird one, you know. Sometimes does a lot of damage, sometimes does pretty much nothing.
I think here in the PCS, it's fairly consistent which one of those two he does.
Yeah. Hasn't found a lot of success in the PCS. And I wouldn't be surprised if this game is the same.
I think Junji is really the only jungler that's managed to make him look like a carry.
Kera's has 2 pings already, and the sweeper. Vision King.
Almost overboard, you'd think.
Yeah. I wonder what he'll use them for. I mean, maybe he really wants those dragons.
Okay, yeah. Dragon is up, and, you know, Beyond looks like they've done their homework. And they should know that Gemini is now going to come out to the bot side and perhaps look for that dragon, because already they're about 10 seconds late to it. By CFO standards, at least.
Yeah, they normally start this up as soon as possible. Kongyue is spotted out here. Don't think he can get that ping.
Yeah, Gemini looks a bit stronger than Kongyue, at least for now. 2 long swords versus the Barmy's Cinder. They actually could look for a dragon here, I feel. Tristana has a big lead in terms of mana. Shun and Chelsea looking to get prior, at least down here in the bot lane. And with Gemini here sitting in this bush, I have to feel like CFO might turn their attention towards it, although Gemini kind of backing off, and 1116 will teleport back, so maybe that timing not quite right.
They do just want to play it a little bit slower. I mean, maybe what works of starting the dragon on spawn against the teams that are a bit less likely to fight back, you know, they can get away with it. But here up against Beyond, they feel pretty strong at this point in the game. TP comes in from Jimian. I would expect him to go towards the Shiv build. But obviously grabs the Noon Quiver here. Gives him a lot of push in that mid lane. Very important up against the LeBlanc.
Yeah, especially as the game progresses. Once she has her static, you really want to have yours online as well.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you are just going to get constantly pushed out and give LeBlanc roam timings, which is exactly what you don't want when you're against LeBlanc.
And it should be very possible for the Tristana to do that. Normally is ahead of gold against her opponent. Obviously can take those turret plates. And Gemini, he's going to his red.
This is unreal.
Yeah. Not the CFO I know.
That's right. But maybe respecting that bit of a harder opponent than they are often against, and so don't want to risk it. But this does mean that later on, they do seem like the kind of team who would prefer to take the Dragon than the Rift Herald. So it might just lend to be a trade, although not necessarily. Gemini could always go up there and try and contest it.
Ooh, might see a fight on the Wolves here.
Yeah, I do favor the Sejuani, at least for now. Okay, Gemini will know.
Yeah, it's just going to be forced away, but how crazy is it that these two teams that play so fast are exactly even in gold at 7.5 minutes in, no kills?
Yeah. It is kind of surprising. I think probably because they know each other to be extremely strong, playing a little bit more reserved than you might see otherwise.
Yeah, just being a little bit careful.
Because it really is, if you give over one bad fight, that can be just pretty much the game there. Definitely.
I mean, both teams are really good at snowballing, both champion-wise and just as players. They really know how to get the most out of it.
Okay, Gemini's still hanging around this Dragon. Rift Herald will be spawning.
Ooh, Sedge is not level 6 yet.
Yeah, really far
and
behind.
Viego is.
We'll just, probably will hit it crossing mid-wave, honestly. There's only the one camp down. Yeah, there we go.
Okay. So looking towards the Rift Herald, which I think is probably the correct choice, given that they have the Tristana.
Yeah.
Does allow you to speed up the game. And Kongwei, I think he should want to contest this. Maybe not, though. I sit on Dragon, and it looks like it's going to be a trade.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe a little bit different than we're used to seeing. I mean, just first objective being taken this late by CFO is kind of weird in its own right.
Yeah.
But they are going to get this Rift Herald. Ooh, nice hook landed as well as that Killer Instinct used here on Shun. He does not have the ult available, it just goes down.
Yeah, did not flash the hook, and I was going to say, you know, whoever comes out ahead on this trade really comes out to who uses the Herald well, you know, can it be used in a good position, but now I have to say this is just a lot better for BYG. They deny Wave's bot, pick up first blood on Shun, and it goes over to Betty.
Yeah, I feel like he committed using his Ghost. You may as well just flash.
Yeah.
If you're going to lose a sum, you may as well lose the one that's going to make sure you don't die. But he doesn't. That is going to be a kill found onto Betty. And we know this guy's excited to watch on Kaiser, and so now that he's got an early lead, perhaps despite what we see as CFO having a better draft, the gold being on this Kaiser can just change everything up entirely anyway.
Yeah, and the gold on Betty in particular, I mean, that is a guy who just absolutely farms when he gets ahead. Betty's Kaiser certainly should be feared here. Herald did go down mid, but they can't really get anything more than just the initial plates, which I feel like is not really enough. I mean, it keeps the gold basically even again, but that gold was there split between the Sedge and the Tristana, whereas all the gold going over to Betty. And Shiv now completed for LeBlanc.
Yeah, you have to think it will be completed for Jimmy and 2 once he does get his back off.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
I mean, he has a D-Blade and boots.
Got the 2 plates, though.
Yeah, they were split, though.
We'll see.
Let's see.
I think he will. But it'll be close, no
What if he
doubt.
just buys Kraken now?
Well, I guess he theoretically could. Does have the Noon Quiver. It is
Okay,
looking like a dive onto Rest. Yep, Static Shiv is picked up there. Rest doing a good job to actually trade back onto Lakai. Even though Kongwei was in the area. Gemini actually sneaking through vision. Isn't seen yet. Lakai in a lot of danger, but Steadfast presence will keep him alive for now as he actually is turning it around. Does get that knock up here. Is Rest going to be able to make it? It is going to be Glacial Prison here used onto Kongwei. But that should be everything.
Yeah, a lot of stuff used from both sides. But ultimately...
BYG getting the flash.
And now with both these shifts completed, Wave Clear Wars will begin.
Sweepers everywhere. Every time we go to a different champion, they are sweeping.
I mean, they got to get rid of Karius' 2 pink wards. He's still got 2 more in his inventory.
Guy's a vision bandit.
They're stocked up. Jun, no ghost, but has flash.
Hey, Jimmy in.
Small little trade there.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
All things considered.
I wonder now what the next objective is. Probably will be this Dragon in 2 more minutes. But it's so insane how all things considered the game is basically dead even still.
Ooh. Yep. Oh, hook will land onto Chelsea. Not the target you'd perhaps want. Will have that Unbreakable Will still available for him as Shun tries to find the damage, but it's Betty, who finds an isolated Q there onto Shun, chunks him down nicely, and I mean, that's just constant advantages. Small advantages are being found here for Betty on this Kai'Sa.
Yeah. But it's CFO, Jimmy, who gets priority over mid, and maybe now he can look to bot. It'll take 116 some time to get down here. He's basing and might look to base TP.
Anyway, gonna have to use his ult, but that is flash used by Oyster. Honestly, it shouldn't be too meaningful that Oyster's used flash. He quite likes to sit out of vision and hex flash anyway, but here comes Kongyue again. He does not have his ult available, but it's a fight started now into Gemini. Depth charge will be used. There's a teleport coming through. In comes 1116 on this LeBlanc, but Jimmy's also... Shun?
Wow.
Shun's Featherstorm, probably not optimal, especially with only 1 minute 15 until this dragon.
No, I think he thought he was going to try root LeBlanc, but unfortunately, LeBlanc can just go back.
It's a massive cooldown to lose.
Yeah, it's crazy how much has been used and still just really not much to save for it. Still, gold is even.
Betty did use flash there, so that is a big cooldown, especially... I mean, it's kind of... I think Xayah ult, especially for just the dragon fight coming up, probably more impactful than Betty's flash. We'll have to see.
Yeah,
also,
I wonder
item completed, so Betty is probably too far ahead at the moment for CFO to want to contest this dragon, but we do know them as a team that love to fight around the dragon, so they might just do so anyway. There's also a teleport advantage for Jimmy in this mid lane.
Yeah, I don't think there's a way to really... Oh, it's 116. It's going to be forced away. Don't think there's a real good way to abuse the TP advantage here. Maybe you could base right now and try have more items. Interestingly, 1116 still has no boots. Normally you see the stalks picked up immediately after your Shiv, but goes for more AP. Doesn't have a lot of move speed though. And I think CFO probably want to delay this until that Featherstorm is up. Although, maybe they're the ones with control right now. They could maybe look for it.
Bolts just walking into each other, not interested in taking that trade. They should know Gemini is probably around here, being that Dragon is alive. Oh, Jimmy he's pretty fine, actually.
Yeah, has taken a bit of damage, and he has used his TP, so he's not going to get that health back. As BYG maybe in the better position right now, around mid at least. As 116 tries to dive forward, get more poke on a Jimmy.
Oh, Gemini could be... Let's say could be looked at, but should be fine to walk away. Oh, Rest. Is Rest going to come down and join this fight? I feel like CFO as a team, it would make sense for him to do so. He does tend to do that. Now, they do know this dragon's been taken. What do we think, Shock? Who's going to edge out this?
I mean, BYG look like they're in a much better spot so far, but Betty, he can't really get here.
And Gemini in the pit now.
TP from Rest.
Might just come down to a smite fight as Rest in the pit. Oh, is this going to be the frozen... Oh, Kongyue actually coming in. Gemini running away, depth charge onto Rest, who jumps it into Shun, but Betty now, all on his lonesome at the backside. Are they going to be able to turn onto him? Looks like he's staying out of range for now. As Featherstorm does come down, it's going to not land too much damage as reset number 1 comes in for Kongyue. He's now that Oyster, and Rest is so low. Gets the second reset. Now as the Jax, is he going to be able to find more? Jimmy should be okay to get out. Has flash available, as well as the Buster shot, but Kira's trying to follow up as best he can. Now turning around, Shun and Gemini are trying to do what they can, but it's just a dive. 1116 finding one. Gemini is getting low, but it's ultimately Jimmy finding one, finding two. And some heroics from Jimmy and turn that around and almost make it back into CFO's favor. Gemini though, flashing away, the smite only just won't kill him.
I think Jimmy gets this.
Yeah, looks like he will.
Ooh.
No, steadfast presence, keeping him out for now, but how Chad is this man? Looks like he's fine to just take these minions. And I think without Jimmy at the back end there, that would have looked a whole lot worse. It is going to be Dragon picked up by CFO.
Yeah,
but it certainly was not for free.
Ooh. Yeah, it was an absolute massacre there initially for BYG. I'm sure we'll get a replay of it, but Jimmy pulls some heroics to save the day. So it looks initially good here, I think, for CFO. They get this dragon, they can probably just leave for free. I think if they just back, I'm not sure why Gemini went that way. I think they should have just tried to dip. Instead, they're kind of trying to look for the fight, and with Lakai's ult, now it's just a straight 4v5. But I think a little bit misplayed on the way out, and this is really good for Viego, who can just come in and kind of get resets, clear everyone up. And at this point, I mean, it was looking real rough for the side of CFO. Jimmy Nice flash.
Yeah, really well played.
It looks like your bot lane's going to get dived and just like instantly die. But Jimmy, you know, managing to live here can come in, and I think turret aggro a little bit mismanaged here. Probably should have let the Kai tank like one more. Maybe even just let him die and get your carries out. Either way though, very, very good execution initially from both sides, but maybe misplayed a little bit of the back end.
I don't know if Rest had his flash up. I feel like he did, and I'm kind of surprised he didn't just try flash stun Betty, who was completely alone on the bot side of that fight. It feels like other members were in range to try, but hold up, Betty is going to get engaged on here. It's going to be Gemini stunning him up, followed by Chelsea, but flash out will be okay for now, and Unbreakable Will comes out of Oyster, as well as that Featherstorm. A lot of weird Featherstorm usages from Shun this game.
Yeah, I think he's just been trying to use it very aggressively, you know, trying to find the route after, but unfortunately, just a bit too far out. And Betty, he was almost punished for having the no cleanse there and did end up losing his flash. I think it was Alistair's flash committed, but does have that Hex flash, of course. Rest is doing some work in this top side, but it's hard to make headway into the Poppy.
Okay, so back to meeting on mid-waves for now. Triforce is picked up here from Kongyue. Definitely not what I'm used to seeing.
Yeah, normally see that Divine for a bit more tankiness, I guess.
Well, I guess with the Triforce, probably a little bit more damage onto these carries, and I guess if you are able to take out the Tristana or the Xayah, you are going to feel really good in these team fights.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, I think Viego went ahead as a very strong champion. It's just getting ahead is difficult. And it feels like if you mis-execute a fight, you're so useless, whereas a champ like Sedge will always find value.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. Game remains relatively even. One dragon apiece, and gold leads slightly in BYG's favor. Rest could be getting looked at top. He's getting poked down slowly, but it's very difficult to dive.
That was a massive trade by him, though. But it is 3 members strong coming. Jimmy does have teleport available. If they were to try that, I feel like Rest might just be able to live long enough for Jimmy to arrive. But he opts against it.
On the bot side, though, I think Tristana's struggling to get stuff done on the Poppy now. Herald is being dropped mid, which should be this tower gone. And ahead of the next dragon, spawning in only 35 more seconds, I think both teams will want to contest this.
Yeah, another fight on our hands. That is going to be mid tower. Does a lot for opening up this map and allowing for vision. Got to fight against Kira's constant 2 pink wards somehow.
Now, I think this fight, 1116 hasn't recalled, so he's not in position. Maybe they're just going to play for gold here instead. They're going to take this. 1116 still needs to get a reset off. Okay, so BYG really have to delay here. They have control, though, and CFO, they need time to get it back.
Now, Rest up top. Does have teleport available once again. Betty should have control over this mid wave, so a lot of control around the dragon area is afforded to BYG.
And maybe CFO don't want to fight this.
Looks like they don't.
Yeah, they don't have 2 items on
they're
mid
walking towards Baron.
Oh, there's no shot. I think they just play for topside control, maybe secure that top tower. Yeah, I think without the 2 item spikes coming through yet on the carries, they don't want to quite do it yet.
Oh, this LeBlanc is so strong.
Yeah, she's very fed. Now, there is lifesteal on Jimmian, so he can deal with that. Not a hell of a lot from the rest of them, though.
And with that lifesteal, Jimmian does lack a little bit of what he would have in damage otherwise.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely not as strong as you perhaps want. It just means that LeBlanc's not able to constantly W forward auto attack him and poke him out of lane, because he'll be fine to just sustain off the minion wave. But I think for now, at least, Tristana is probably who you're looking to try and carry this game out. But with the current items, probably doesn't have the damage to do so.
Well, we'll be looking towards that next dragon. Game has been relatively quiet so far and a lot slower than every other game we've seen today. Just kind of to be expected from what are 2 of our very strong teams here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, already the game's almost gone longer than the rest of them.
Now, what is Rest building? Because he's got Zhonya's components, but he's also got a Kindle Gem.
That's a good question. This guy is actually the Dark Wizard of Tech, though.
Yeah.
So I'm not even going to try and hazard a guess.
We'll see what ends up happening. Oh, looking forward.
Ooh.
And maybe Gemini being looked at. Hook comes out.
Oh, they are going to start onto Gemini here, who does in turn turn around onto Kongyue. So low, but will be able to survive just as Rest now teleporting in. It's Chelsea, the center of attention for the most part, as 1116 finding little bits of damage here and there. Kongyue having to back though, he is so low.
Yeah.
Jimmy maybe misusing that buster shot.
Yeah, I think probably could have got Kongyue's flash or maybe even killed him. We'd wait for one more. Wasn't to be, and once again, I mean, we see cooldowns used from both sides, but both teams playing on their limits so well means that no one ends up going down.
Yeah, it's insane. Everyone playing, I mean, they're not playing safe necessarily, but they're just playing around their limits so well. Oftentimes we've just seen players surviving on the 1 HP, and I mean, that means a lot. If you do go down in those scenarios, there's a lot more gold afforded to the other team, and could change the outlook, but in the most part, everyone's staying relatively okay.
Okay, he's got that bot pro. He's gonna start moving up the river here. And Gemini is being looked at. The stun connects.
Yeah, it does look like we have...
Ooh, a little bit of poke. Ooh, nice poke on Shalcy as well. The Kaiser poke is really starting to hit now.
Quite committed there. Looks like Kongyue will pick that one up. And yeah, look at the pressure that 1116 is offering around everything here.
Yeah, feels very, very threatening. Mid-tier 1 still stands here for CFO, so they have that kind of as an anchor around this area. 2 minutes on the Infernal Drag. Both teams, I think, should want to contest this, and I think this could finally be the point where the game starts to blow open a bit. Now, a lot of Baron DPS from both sides. If someone can decisively win this fight, it should mean a lot more after. Rest? I'm not even sure. Can he take this tower? Maybe now he can.
Looks like he will be able to just enter a defensive stance. Get that one taken out. Now I want to say, we touched on it at the start of the game though, no cleanse on Betty. So even just a simple flash stun from Rest could lead to so much for CFO. I think both teams, Jimmy and perhaps the carry here for CFO that you're looking towards, but Betty on the other hand, definitely is the champion, at least in the BYG camp, that's going to offer the most DPS. And if he's stunned up and killed, bad things could happen to BYG.
Kaisen just bought a Dirk.
Okay. Maybe looking for as much power as possible.
Yeah.
Does it evolve? Yeah, well, it evolved the Q.
Still feels a bit weird though, right?
Yeah, definitely.
There's a lot of armor already. I mean, again, I think it is mainly for the evolve, but I'm not sure.
I feel like you could have got that from Pickaxe and gone for Guinsu.
Yeah, true.
Something. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure what he's cooking, but 20 seconds away now. I feel like the Dirk is honestly pretty useless. Let's see, though.
Yeah, not going to mean a lot against Jack, Sejuani, or Alistair at least. But Kaiser does have, you know, some positive play where she can just ult onto one of the squishier targets.
Gemini always almost finds that window. 116 is recalling. He's going to need a TP.
Okay, here we go. Jimmy does take a little bit of damage, but as long as he can hit this dragon, should be okay to heal up. Shun, on the other hand, will not be able to, and Shun copping so much damage.
This is looking really good for BYG already. Shun needs to probably get a bit of health off that bot wave.
Perez looking for a flank. Will be spotted out by that blue trinket as Rest happy to just jump on at this LeBlanc. Chelsea is cooking up a flank, though. There's no way they've realized this Alistair is over here. As 1116 does not have distortion available for now, but Alistair is seen. Gemini have to look where he throws out this glacial prison.
Yeah, 116
Rest is just copping it.
Yeah.
Is he going to be able to recall and get a teleport off?
I think he has to.
Yeah,
CFO,
man,
I think even if you give the drag, you have to play for the fight after with the Rest. And 116, what a nuisance.
That is going to be Poppy ult committed as Lakai runs at the team of CFO. It is Gemini going for the smite fight, though. He is able to find it. Death charge onto Jimmian, and Betty follows up. Lakai as well. It's so much damage here for BYG. Shun will be next to go down. It's reset after reset. Kongyue now becomes Shun, but gets more kills than Shun would have. And a massive team fight win for BYG.
Yeah, BYG, they're pulling really far ahead here. Can they get the Baron on top of this? I think They should have been able to, but Betty goes for the reset. Maybe they're just going to try to take gold everywhere else on the map. Finally, though, we see gold lead starting to kind of edge out. Maybe they're going to go for both. Betty is pathing towards here. Probably is just for that red buff, as 1116 is going to look on this bot tower. And you'll kind of see, I mean, before this fight starts, BYG, they've been doing a great job of just poking down over and over. And they force Rest into that really tough position of having to recall, you know, when this dragon is being contested. Ooh. Gemini, it gets smite. And I think after this, it's just too much CC comes into Jimmy and doesn't have the opportunity to fight back. And I think this is the problem of Tristana being the one that gets fed. You know, Xayah has a lot more tools to deal with this huge engage that can come out. But the Tristana, you know, relatively flimsy in comparison. And one misstep from Jimmy and really costs him.
Yeah, I mean, that fight pretty much was just a 3v5. Rest having to recall because of all the poke found by 1116. And then Poppy sending Chelsea to the... I don't even know where. Just not there.
Not there. Lichbane, now completed for...
Didn't get the auto off. Kongwei. It's going to be found. This is dangerous now. It does have the stopwatch to go golden. Will have ult and flash available, but is it...
What is bro doing?
I don't know, but that is a shutdown. Unfortunately, it does go onto Chelsea, but with jungler down, are CFO going to be able to look towards this Baron?
I don't think they can. I think there is too much poke from BYG. They've got LeBlanc and the Kai'Sa. This might be CFO's chance, though. They're going to try.
Ooh.
I think if BYG play this well, they can stop it. Let's see.
Okay. Chelsea is guarding. Is going to actually look for an engage, and this is good. They can look for the fight here. Kira's by himself. Rest looks for the stun. Isn't going to be able to land it, but it's Sejuani following up. 116 poking in, trying to do as much damage as possible. Ultimately, it is going to be a kill found. No Baron, but importantly, more gold to the side of CFO.
Yeah, they do stop the Baron. I'm not sure why they felt the need to play that so fast on BYG. I feel like you could have just kept poking. Now, possible red flag. Dustblade here for Betty. What do we think? I mean, the invisibility is kind of nice. Or the untargetability, excuse me.
I guess, yeah, and I don't like it. No. I don't know. I'm not going to make excuses. I don't think it's that good.
No.
You don't even have that much DPS, really. I guess Viego in this build will have a bit more than usual. As well as if he gets a reset, of course, then. I mean, that could be just what Betty's trying to do, is just offload as much straight-up damage, get Kongyue a reset, and then he can play through the DPS of the likes of Jimmy and Shun. But still, I feel like a more traditional build might have been better, the likes of the Guinsus, even Ludens.
Yeah, I think the Guinsus would have been really good here. DFO, they're going to retake this control, and, you know, all things considered, I'd say the game's still very, very even.
Yeah.
Which is great, because all our games have been over 5 minutes before now. Today.
Exactly. And I think, importantly, though, at this stage, until at least there's some lifesteal that can come through for Shun, I think the game feels a lot easier for BYG as long as 116 is landing auto attacks after distortioning.
Yeah.
Shun really can't play the game. And we saw what he can even do to Rest. Keres, though, Keres is in a bit of a position. Jimmy will flash away, and so the hook does land onto Gemini. That is optimal for them as Keres taken out extremely quickly. Rest teleporting in the back, but it's Lakai the focus. That's 2 kills for Shun. And with that, that should be the Baron.
Yeah, they're going to start it up. Or they should start it up. There is still a lot of poke that can come in here from CFO. I'm surprised. Why are they not turning straight to the Baron? I feel like you want to do this quicker.
Yeah, I think, importantly, because of this kind of weird Kai'Sa build, she doesn't have that much poke, so it's really up to 1116 to try and get some poke found here. But again, it is a 3v5, so even finding poke can be so difficult. It's coming in there, lands it onto Jimmy, and who's fine to just lifesteal it up, and that is Baron going over to CFO.
Can they reset in time to get to the drag, or maybe... Ooh,
oh my goodness.
So much power.
How annoying is this?
Yeah.
Okay, they are away now.
I think they can't get the dragon in time, but either way, even if third drag goes to Beyond, I think CFO can get a lot done with this Baron.
Jimmy is able to teleport back on the map, or he's actually staying.
Ooh, could he cheese here?
Looks like he's trying to, but we'll opt against it as Kira's now starting up this dragon. Looks like with Betty being here, it will be third dragon picked up from Beyond, but it is Baron, importantly, for CFO. So we'll see what they can get with that. If they are able to get enough, it might just be fine for them to give over this third dragon.
Yeah, I think so.
You have to have Sejuani really tanking up a lot of this LeBlanc damage, though. You really need to sort of somehow angle yourself so LeBlanc can't just continuously double you in and find auto attacks on the carries.
Yeah. And LeBlanc is building a Shadow Flame for some reason. I think that should be a Rabadon's. But either way, you know, build choices maybe haven't been the best for Beyond. Still ultimately does come down to gameplay at the end of the day. Mid tower and top tower now being sieged. There's a good comp here for CFO. They've got a lot of poke, or not, excuse me, a lot of disengage as well as a lot of damage onto these towers with the Tristana and the Xayah.
I'm surprised they don't opt to further push the mid wave in.
I wonder if they're just trying to be really safe.
Oh, Glacial Prison does go wide there. If that landed onto 1116, that would have been disastrous.
Yeah, it was very, very close. Rest, he's pretty safe mid, can just buff this one up, be the one that can disengage. Although, the Kite with the Poppy, maybe do something into it. And now Kaiser's going for the Void Staff.
This cannon is getting in its reps. And yeah, that is Void. You've gone Duskblade and then Void Staff.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think that's a build
anymore.
I don't even think the Void's like that necessary, is it? If you go Rageblade?
I guess the Abyssal... There's two Abyssal masks.
Yeah. I mean, it's like... And a Hex Drinker now. I mean, I guess it's good. But it feels like if it was like Rageblade Void, it would be much better, right?
I'm kind of surprised that Shun isn't going for Bloodthirster. Or at least just even sitting on a Vamp Scepter. I feel like... I mean, you'll survive Burst a little bit better, but... At this stage, LeBlanc's just slowly poking away at you, as well as the Kaiser. It feels like the Hex Drinker might not be the best pick over Vamp Scepter or building towards Bloodthirster.
Look at that gold difference.
Yeah.
Up and down. In phases, really.
Really showing that these two teams are on a similar level.
Yeah.
In 7-7, only 3k, not even 3k, more like 2k in it. I think Beyond have done a little bit of trolling in their builds, though.
Yeah, Baron now faded though, and with the static shivs, I don't think there's any way CFO can get anything more. Most likely, we'll just go to another dragon fight.
Yeah. You know how CFO play, they like their dragons. Baron is now down. I mean, they are playing pretty aggressively around this jungle.
Maybe fishing here.
I don't know if you want... I mean, maybe you do just win a dive.
Oh, that was close.
That would have been so exciting to see.
Yeah, I respect the attempt, though.
I do too. Oh! Okay, it is onto Lakai. Doesn't really matter that much as Poppy channeling the ult. It is actually going to land on two of them, and Shun's in trouble now. Gemini, though, will first of all be focused as Keres gets extremely low. What can be found from this, though? It's actually Rez turning it around. Oh my god, Betty's gone down. And now Lakai getting low as well as Keres. Keres trying to offer as much CC as he can before he goes down, but it's all Rest. Everything's coming up Rest as Jimmy finds himself one. Lakai running as fast as he can to get away from this Jax, who is not happy. Jax is pouncing on Poppy. Is going to not quite land the stun, but actually flashes away as 1116 does manage to make it back to base, but it's 3 found there in reply for CFO as they look to start taking some of this base.
Oh, and Jimmy.
Oh, Jimmy's dead. No, he's not. He's oh my god. Okay, this is insane. It's eventually the 280 carries left.
Oh, TB comes in.
Oh, yeah, Lakai. Oh, everything's just going on here.
Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, Rest, he's going to start knocking on that base, only a Nautilus to stop him at this point. And I think 1116, he did a great job there of killing the wave. Got greedy for a bit more and was punished as a result.
Wow.
More now completed from Shun. And Jimmy's got a GA. I think that was Beyond's window to get back in. You know, amazing Poppy ult from Lakai. Unfortunately, they fumble it a little bit. Betty gets caught by Rest.
Yeah. And we're seeing the problem with not having cleanse really in that one.
Yeah. So, I mean, this looks really good at the start. Engage is, you know, really, really nice from Beyond here. You know, this Poppy ult onto 3 is insane. And then really good follow-up. You know, they managed to take out Gemini very early, but I think hugging really close to the wall here. Pay attention to Betty. You know, is just found by Rest and killed almost immediately.
Yeah.
And you can't really afford to have that when you're this fed on Kaiser. And with so much damage missing, so much consistent damage as well, there's just not enough left. But Beyond, and they just get Goomba stomped.
Yeah, I wonder if Jimmy doesn't ult there if they just find Lakai as well. Anyway, 3rd dragon apiece now, so
Beyond
whatever happens, this next Dragon is probably where the game ends. I mean, maybe this Baron can do it.
Yeah.
They do have advantage, and I mean, with the poke coming out, is Lakai actually going to be the focus? Gemini happy to use that Frozen Prison as Shun has jumped on, but stunned up is 1116. Rest playing phenomenally. He's now in the middle of 4. Kyrus goes down. Kongyue's next on his list as Lakai's getting low, but Betty procking in that Duskblade is going to have to flash away as Shun flashes in. Does find the kill. That's 3 down for Beyond, and only Gemini for CFO. They're looking to end here. It's only Poppy and only the Viego. I don't think they had the wave clear. I think CFO have done it.
I think they have. 37 minutes in, it looks like CFO will put on the finishing touches. You can see in that last fight there, both the AD carries put up so much work. And what an ending to an absolute insane game.
Absolutely. Oh, it's not over yet, actually. Kongyue is not able to find a reset. If he was able to, maybe it looks different, but with that, it does look like the game might just be over. Focusing on the Nexus, there is no shenanigans. CFO remain 4-0, and unfortunately it's Beyond 3-1 now.
Yeah, I'm glad that's the game we ended on, though, because that was an insane game.
That game went for almost 2 lots of the other games.
Crazy, right? I mean, it was kind of the only game of the day that was meant to be close, and I think Beyond put up a pretty good fight. I think CFO had the better draft.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Beyond definitely kind of had that game, I felt like. Like, they were ahead, they kind of had the tools. I feel like the builds were a bit troll, and I feel like mis-executed a couple key team fights, and ultimately CFO, they kind of show why they're that consistent heavy hitter, always in that top side of the teams. And yeah, they managed to take them out.
Yeah, I'm perplexed by the builds, first of all. I think the builds were... I mean, honestly, I don't think either team had particularly strong builds. I think probably should have gone for the Bloodthirster over the Hex Drinker, but in any case, they did manage to win. But I want to point out that I think one of the most massive turning points for that game was when Kongyue got caught up the topside jungle, and he kind of like flashed out and then ulted back in.
Yeah, and that's why I ended up losing them the Baron.
Yeah, that's what. Well, they didn't. Did they lose the Baron?
No,
I think
not immediately.
Someone died.
Sorry.
I don't even remember who. But someone died, or Lakai or someone died afterwards, which just gave more gold over to CFO. And then from there, it never really looked like CFO were on the back foot. I mean, you could argue that massive ult from Lakai bot lane looked like it, but then Rest was able to just jump over the wall and catch them by surprise. Just completely one-shotting Betty alongside Shao Si. And it was just phenomenally played. I think they got a bit behind early, maybe some misplays. Shun especially was really struggling, at least in that 2v2 bot. But then they really brought it back, and they're team fighting. We know them as a team fighting team. It came down to 6 Barons. I mean, Dragons were taken, and I mean, even the Baron didn't even matter in the end. It was just a team fight. CFO won the game.
Yeah, crazy game, all things considered. And I wonder, you know, if you're Beyond, do you look at that game and say, okay, like we had all the pieces we wanted and we just need to execute a bit better? Or maybe do they look towards a draft? Because I think that the Viego, I'm still not a fan. I'm really not a fan of Viego.
Yeah, it looked good at the early stages when they were just able to keep walking forward, and they really did have the damage in that Kai'Sa to be able to get the resets. But we saw sort of as the items came through for Sejuani, for Jax, they weren't really able to reliably get those resets anymore, and especially Alistair. I mean, he's probably the hardest of the tank supports to get through.
Yeah.